You kept going back. You knew it was hurting you. You told yourself 100 times, this is the last time. Then something happened. A text, a call, a moment of warmth, and you were back. Not because you're weak, not because you're stupid, not because you don't know better, but because something happened inside your brain, something biological, something psychological, that made that person feel as necessary as oxygen. That's not love. That is a trauma bond. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it was built inside you, without your permission, and how to break it for good. Most people have never heard the term trauma bond. They just know the feeling. The feeling of being more attached to someone who hurts them than to someone who treats them well. The feeling of missing someone even while you're crying because of what they did. The feeling of defending someone you know is wrong for you, to everyone, including yourself. A trauma bond is not a sign of love. It is a psychological attachment formed through cycles of pain and reward. The term was first identified by psychologist Patrick Carnes, who studied the patterns of people in abusive relationships and cult survivors. And what he found shocked the academic world. People didn't stay because they were broken. They stayed because their brains had been chemically reconditioned to need the person hurting them. Here's how it works. When someone hurts you and then shows you warmth, affection, apology, a moment of the person you fell in love with, your brain releases a massive flood of dopamine and oxytocin, the same chemicals released in genuine love. But in a trauma bond, these chemicals arrive after pain, which means your nervous system begins to associate that person, and only that person, with relief. And relief, when you've been in pain long enough, feels exactly like love. Trauma bonds don't happen all at once. They are built, stage by stage, often so slowly you never see them coming. Stage 1, love bombing. It starts with overwhelming affection, constant attention. They make you feel like the most important person in the world. This is not accidental. It is the foundation, and it's designed to make you trust them completely. Stage 2, trust and dependency. You begin to share everything. Your fears, your wounds, your secrets. You feel seen in a way you've never felt before. What you don't know is, they are studying you, learning exactly what you need, so they know exactly what to take away later. 3. The first shift. Something changes. A moment of coldness, criticism, jealousy, control. It feels like a glitch, not the real them. You work harder to get the love back. Stage 4. Criticism and manipulation. The warmth comes and goes. You never know which version of them you'll get. You start walking on eggshells. You start to believe the problem is you. Your self-worth quietly begins to erode. Stage 5. Loss of self. You have slowly reorganized your entire identity around managing this relationship. What makes them happy? What triggers them? You no longer know what you want, only what they want from you. Stage 6. Addiction. The painful moments have become so intense, and the brief moments of relief so euphoric, that your nervous system is now fully addicted. Leaving feels like withdrawal. Staying feels like survival. Stage 7. Complete emotional dependency. You cannot imagine life without them. Not because they are good for you, but because your brain has been conditioned to believe that their approval is the only source of peace you have left. Ask yourself, which stage are you in right now? This is the question that haunts survivors of trauma bonds the most. If it wasn't real, why did it feel so real? The answer is neuroscience. In a stable, healthy relationship, love builds gradually, consistently, calmly. In a trauma bond, love arrives in explosions, after fear, after pain, after abandonment. And the human brain is wired to assign enormous value to anything that relieves suffering. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It is the same psychological mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Not the winning, but the uncertainty of winning. When you don't know when the reward is coming, You become obsessed with pursuing it. The person who treats you perfectly every day becomes invisible to your nervous system. The person who hurts you sometimes and loves you sometimes becomes impossible to leave. This is not a character flaw. This is biology. But here's what nobody tells you. Biology can be rewired. When you finally leave or try to leave, something strange happens. You feel grief, real, devastating grief, the kind you feel when someone dies. And people around you don't understand. They were terrible to you. Why are you sad? Here is why. When a trauma bond breaks, your brain loses its primary source of dopamine regulation. The emotional highs are gone. The relief after the pain is gone. And because your nervous system was conditioned to receive emotional regulation from them, without them, it doesn't know how to regulate itself. This feels like constant thinking about them, physical chest pain, inability to eat or sleep, desperate urge to reach out. Just once. This is withdrawal. Clinical, neurological withdrawal. The same process an addict goes through when they stop using. And understanding this, not as weakness, but as chemistry, is the first step to breaking it. Breaking a trauma bond is not about willpower. It is about rewiring. Here is the process, step by step. Step 1. Name it. The moment you say the words, "I am trauma bonded," something shifts. You move from confusion to clarity. From "what is wrong with me" to "this is a documented psychological response." That distinction saves lives. Step 2. Break contact completely. Every time you re-engage with the person, every text, every call, every check of their profile, you restart the chemical cycle. The brain needs full abstinence to begin rewiring. Not reduced contact, no contact. Step 3. Understand the difference between the person and the feeling. You are not missing them. You are missing the feeling they gave you. The relief after the pain, the warmth after the cold. That feeling is available without them. But your brain hasn't learned that yet. Step 4. Regulate your nervous system manually. In the absence of their regulation, you must give your nervous system new inputs. Cold showers, exercise, breath work, deep sleep. These are not luxuries. They are neurological interventions. They restore your brain's ability to produce dopamine independently. Step 5. Rebuild your identity. Somewhere in the bond, you lost yourself. The recovery is not just about leaving them. It is about finding you again. What did you love before them? What did you believe about yourself before they rewrote it? Go back to that person. They are still there. Step 6. Do not rush the grief. The grief is real. Trying to skip it will only make it longer. Sit with it, name it. Understand it as chemistry, not failure. Every day that passes without contact is a day your brain moves closer to freedom. Step 7. Get support. Trauma bonds are not broken in isolation. Tell one person you trust. Find a therapist who understands attachment trauma. Or find a community. The bond was built in isolation. It heals in connection. You kept going back because your brain told you to. Not because you are weak. Not because you deserve what happened to you. Not because there is something permanently broken inside you. You went back because you were chemically conditioned to believe that their presence, even painful, was safer than their absence. That is not love. That was a trap. And the fact that you're watching this video right now, the fact that some part of you is searching for answers, searching for a way out, means the part of you that knows is still alive. That part is right. You were never the problem. You were the target. And now, you are becoming something they never prepared for. Someone who understands exactly what happened. Someone who cannot be trapped the same way twice. Someone who is finally, on their own side. Break the bond. Take your life back. It was always yours. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs it. Comment below. Which stage did you recognize yourself in? Motivation thrones. Do not republish without permission.